Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and fellow colleagues. My name is Huang and I'm from the Center of Liveable Cities. Welcome to today's CLC's lecture series. The center was jointly established by the Ministry of National Development and the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources in 2008 to distill, create and share knowledge on livable and sustainable cities. The CLC lecture series is one of the platforms through which urban thought leaders share best practices and exchange ideas and experiences. So today's lecture is jointly organized by CLC and the Center on Asia and Globalisation at the Kuan School of Public Policy. Today we're very honored to have with us our distinguished speaker, Dr. Eric Chu, the Mayor of New Taipei City, as well as our Minister of State for National Development, Mr. Desmond Lee, to grace the event. So we'd now like to welcome Mr. Desmond Lee to give the opening remarks. MOS, please.
Dr. Eric Chu, Mayor of New Taipei City, distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends, very good afternoon. It's my pleasure and privilege to deliver the opening remarks for today's lecture, organized by the Center for Liveable Cities and the Center on Asia and Globalisation at the Kuan School of Public Policy. This is, in fact, my first time attending one of the talks by CLC in the CLC lecture series since joining the ministry over a month ago. I'm glad that there is such a platform where urban leaders, experts, and academics can exchange ideas and share knowledge on urban solutions and discuss emerging city issues and challenges. We are very pleased to have with us today Dr. Eric Chu to share with us his insights on New Taipei City's developments. As most of you are aware, Dr. Chu became the first mayor of New Taipei City when New Taipei City predecessor entity Taipei County was upgraded to a special municipality in 2010. Prior to this, Dr. Chu helmed an illustrious civil service career in various high-level positions, such as the Magistrate of Taoyuan County and Chairman of the Budgetary Committee and Finance Committee of the Legislative Yuan. Before he entered politics, Mayor Chu also taught at Birthrate College, the City University of New York, and National Taiwan University. At over 2,000 square kilometers in size and with a population of close to 4 million people, New Taipei City is a growing city and metropolis with 29 districts. Just like New Taipei City, Singapore has seen rapid transformation over the years. And while these have improved the quality of life for people in both cities, we share similar challenges in having to develop amid increasingly complex urban developments. How do we fine-tune population policies and strategies to cater to a declining fertility rate? Great challenges for both cities. How do we accommodate the foreign workforce needed to work a city? And what kinds of migration policies make sense for both cities? How can we strengthen the sense of identity, purpose, and rootedness amongst people in cities with such great changes? How can we engage our citizens more in both policymaking and in city planning? How can we preserve and protect a city's heritage, character, and that nostalgic feel while developing and changing amidst a challenging landscape? We are indeed very honored to have with us Mayor to share his insights and perspectives. And in this lecture, Mayor will share his city's transformation over the years and the upcoming urban development plans in the near future. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in putting our hands together to welcome Dr. Eric Chu. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Lee, Mr. Chu, Professor Huang, Ambassador Xie, and of course, Minister Ma. all our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Eric Chu. As mentioned by Mr. Lee, I have a long history as a civil servant. I should say I work for the government, mainly work for the local government. Before I became the mayor, the first elected mayor of New Taipei City, I have a short time as a deputy prime minister for the central government. Prior to that one, I worked for Taoyuan as a 2 million people metropolitan as well. Now in New Taipei, as the Minister Lee said before, New Taipei was a Taipei County. Most of you all know Taipei, and what's the difference between Taipei City and Taipei County or New Taipei City? I should make you a briefing. First of all, of course, New Taipei is new. So Taipei relatively is old. It's a joke, but you know, the Taipei City is a CBD, the Central Business District of Taipei area. It's all belong to the same metropolitan. Actually, historically, prior to year 1968, all belong to Taipei County, even the city of Taipei. But finally, Taipei separated from the county. The rest of the 29 small cities still under the Taipei County. At the year 2010, we think it's a time for all those people in the Taipei area, especially for those 29 small cities, to be merged into a super city. It's the same metropolitan. We can have the urban planning, we can have the transportation, we can have every policy all concord together to be one super city. So that's the reason why I became the first elected mayor of New Taipei. So in New Taipei, thank you. So in New Taipei, definitely I'm the only elected executive mayor, and the rest of the region, including the old 29 small cities now called district, the head of district will be appointed or will be assigned by the mayor. So it's a big challenge for me to be the first mayor of New Taipei. What I should do for the city. The people, of course, expect all the infrastructure, just like the CBD. We need the metro system. So 3 loops, 3 routes as my policy to be the new metro system for all Taipei area. It's under construction. It's not so soon. It will be finished probably in the coming decade. For the same urban planning zoning project, we are doing very soon, but it won't be not so soon, could be finished in few years. So as a mayor, what's the key things I have to do? I would think the key will be the people. Because compared to City of Taipei, the central business district, it's mainly commercial, office, and some residents. But in New Taipei, as I mentioned, it's residential. It's mainly industrial and recreation. So in New Taipei, it's covered almost all the region of Taipei area with 4 million people. Actually, I should say 5 million people in New Taipei. 4 million people is a citizen. The number is a citizen. 5 million people include the temporary residents in New Taipei. So totally together, about 5 million people live in the area. You can see the downtown green one is a CBD, is a city of Taipei. The rest of them are New Taipei City. We have the area of 2,052 square kilometers. It's about 3 times of Singapore, right? So it's big, but a lot of mountain area and the coast area. So the downtown area is similar to Singapore. It's also metropolitan area, very crowded. A lot of people live in. After giving you the briefing of New Taipei, I want to talk about the issue I mentioned yesterday in the Eisenhower Fellowship Association. Yesterday, we have the topic regarding to the birth rate, the fertility issue regarding to Taiwan, and also similar, we face the same challenge in Singapore. I met a lot of friends in Singapore. We are always debating who is the lowest in the world. Singapore said, of course, we are the lowest. Singapore is the lowest. It's about 1.2. I can mention to you, Taiwan was below 1, it's 0.9 at the year 2010. Of course, last year was abnormal. You know, last year we had 1.28. It's abnormal because every Chinese knows it's a dragon year. So I believe even in Singapore it's different. So we all face the same challenge of infertility. How to increase the birth rate is a big challenge also for the government. It's not the challenge for the young parents. It's not the challenge only for the grandparents. It's also the challenge for the mayor. So we have to encourage and to increase the birth rate. I talked a story yesterday. I want to repeat a little bit to those who maybe have the experience. I said in New Taipei, because of so many infrastructures, so the mayor should do some groundbreaking to kick off the new projects almost every week. So every time for any groundbreaking event, we will hold some golden shovel. It's a golden shovel. You said it's only for the ceremony. But after the ceremony, everybody will come to me and said, please give me the golden shovel. I said, for what? He said, for Chinese or Taiwanese tradition, the golden shovel in Mandarin called 金铲子. In Hokkien, in Minnan, is 金蛇镜. So any young couple who can have the golden shovel of course, at the room and in the house, it will be prayed to have a new baby. I don't know whether it's work, but anyway, last year I have to give out about 200 golden shovel. And this year we expect to have 500. So probably we will have 500 more newborn baby because of the golden shovel. That's a story, but I don't want to promote that same idea in Singapore. Otherwise, any time in Singapore, you know, minister, you finish the ceremony, everybody will come to you to try to get the golden shovel from you. But I want to mention that one is we have to do something to help the younger generation to have a baby. So yesterday I mentioned the focus was we try to create the pre-kindergarten. So pre-kindergarten is called infant daycare center. Infant daycare center, which means you will have the daycare center for the age 0 to 2. Because we have the kindergarten mainly for age 2 to 6. We try to create the age 0 to 2. It's a certain kind of, try to get help, try to get nurse, or try to get some, foreign workers to help the family to do the same thing. But most of the parents will worry about the quality. So that's a reason why we create the infant daycare center in New Taipei. Within these 2 years, we finished about 20 centers already. At the end of next year, we expect will be down about 32 daycare centers, infant daycare centers. At the meantime, we also motivate the private sector to create about 100 daycare centers as well. So totally, you can give the young generation as emotional or certain kind of feeling. It's pretty safe because the daycare center is high quality, first one. Every help we call teacher is a young generation graduate from college with professional training, with a license. So it's very important. The third one, all the space we use, disused space or unused space, especially in the school, because of the low birth rate. So you less of the new coming elementary students in the elementary school. So we create a kindergarten before. Now we have the infant newborn baby daycare center also in the school. So the new elementary school in Taiwan, especially in New Taipei, I call it 12 years education, from year 0 to 12. But I know it's quite difficult in Singapore because I know in Singapore the parents were worry about which elementary school they should get in. The elementary school in Taiwan is okay because parents will worry about the high school mainly, not the elementary school. They will study at the elementary school just nearby, not special one. But I know it's so competing in Singapore. Every parent will choose the elementary schools because it will maybe impact or influence on the future, on the children's future. So I know it will be quite difficult in Singapore because the pregnant mom should consider after the baby birth, then the baby born, then have to think which daycare center the baby should go. Because after the daycare center will be the kindergarten, then elementary school. So it's 12 years, for sure. That's regarding to the topic yesterday we mentioned. I share with my fellows of Eisenhower. And how about today? Today, I will mainly focus on eating. Because you see, as a mayor, I have to cook for the people, for my citizen. This picture is shown, I'm a good chauffeur, right? Not too bad. This elders together is a community center. I cook for them. Actually, it's a show. It's not really. Actually, they cook themselves. I want to present this picture to you as regarding to eat. Today, I have 3 topics, all regarding to eat. This topic, the first one is eat together. The second topic will be eat smart. The third topic will be eat with love. Eat with love. The first one, eat together. For elders, I do believe the same problem in Singapore as well. The lonely one, the isolated one. Because all the children went abroad or even work outside, not in home, and all the elders maybe live separated from the children. So they are quite lonely. The first problem, maybe for the government, have to solve is how to eat. Do they have to cook themselves? I don't think so. I think the better policy if we can promote so-called eat together, senior eat together. It's a certain kind of activity or event now in New Taipei. For the past year, I said no matter what kind of method or way or formation, you can eat together will be okay. In the community center, or at any school, you can eat with the kids, or even in the police station, you can eat with the police. Or you can get together to eat outside, will be very welcome. What's the meaning of this? If we can eat together, we can share together. It's very environmental. If we can share together, it's very, easy for them to talk together. They can gossip together. Even sometimes I said they can criticize the government together. It's very fun. No matter what kind of way they can be together. So during the morning, they will maybe buy the vegetable, buy the food, and cook together, and some volunteers may help them, and some borough or some we call village, some volunteers, they join together to help them to cook. They can make exercise even after meal. So it's certain kind of a good activity for all the elders in New Taipei. So during the past year, we create over 500 places for eating together. Daily, about 20,000 elders in New Taipei, they can eat together. The percentage is still very low because compared to our senior citizen, it's 370 about over 65 years old. I mean, the senior citizen in New Taipei, 370,000, only 20,000 they can eat together. Hopefully someday, if more than 10% or 20% or 30%, they can eat together, I think a lot of problems could be solved. Because during the daytime, at least, they will meet to each other, they can gossip each other, and they will know which one not shown today, maybe some problem in the hospital and need some help. I think it's quite good so-called social events for all the elders. Okay, next things regarding to the elders I'm doing is called so-called the volunteers bank. This picture, you see, they eat together, all these elders. You know where it's a place they eat together? It's a garage. Even the garage, they can eat together. So no matter what kind of place, the only thing, the key, is they can eat together. Okay, the second one I want to mention is the same topic regarding to elders. If they eat together, why we need they eat together? Because of the companion. We found the senior people, the healthy one, they need companion. The yield one, not healthy one, they need companion too. Maybe even more, the companion. In Taiwan, we have the same problem as Singapore. The younger generation have no time to companion with the elder. Even we try to get the nurse, it's not enough for the yield, for the unhealthy elders. So we try to create a system called volunteer bank. What's the meaning of a volunteer bank? A lot of younger generation like to be a volunteer, but few, very few of them want to be the volunteers for elders because they think the volunteers for children, it means hope, but the volunteers for elders, maybe some bad story will happen someday. So the volunteers for the senior citizen, we try to create a system to give the younger generation a motivation. Because today we are still young, but we will worry someday when we become older. If we became older, who would take care of us? We know we need maybe some professional nurse to help us. We have to pay. In Taiwan, every hour is about 180 NT dollars. It's about 9 Singapore dollars per hour. You have to pay for the professional nurse. Even you can pay, but it's still quite difficult to get the professional nurse. So our government tried to create a pool. This pool means we can guarantee to you, you will get the nursing service in the future if you can do some volunteer today, which means reciprocal service someday you can get from what you have done before. For the elder, if you are older than 65, if you are healthy, you can do the volunteer job as well as the younger one, but it's different from the younger one. The younger one, the system is every 10 hours you have done for the elders, you will get back 1 hour in the future. 1 hour professional treatment, professional help in the future. For the older one, we need some older one to be the volunteer. If you have done 1 hour companion or volunteer service to the older one, you will get 1 hour back. So it's 1-to-1. So it's a good incentive for a lot of retired teacher, retired professional, or even retired politician to be the volunteer. Because everybody will worry about someday he needs the help. If he cannot get guarantee, it's a big problem for them. Because in Taiwan, it's not so easy to get the so-called foreign help. We need a lot of condition, not like Singapore. So even the nurse we can get is still limited. But the government, as a local government, we guarantee, we book for you, we deposit for you. So every 1 hour the elder you have done for the elder, you get 1 hour back in the future for free and for guarantee. And of course, for the younger one, every 10 hours you have done today, you will get some hour, 1 hour back in the future. So we try to attract 3,000 volunteers this year. Hopefully we can finish and we can accomplish this target. This we call volunteer bank. So young people volunteer to serve. You can see this picture. I think this young guy, he can get the service about 50 years later because he's also a teenager, still a teenager. Anyway, next one regarding to eat is, the first topic is regarding to eat together. The next one is eat smart. As a mayor, you will worry about the health of the people. Recently in Asian society, everybody knows eat smart, eat salt is very important because a lot of we call poison pesticides, a lot of this kind of problem happen to our vegetable, to our food. So it's a challenge for the government. Organic is a fashion, but organic still not the mainstream in Taiwan. How to say? Because everybody know organic is quite okay, quite healthy, but organic is relatively expensive to the consumer. Go to the supermarket, 2 stands for the vegetable. One is cheaper and very green. The other one is much more expensive. It's not so beautiful. I can tell you, the more expensive one and not so beautiful one should be organic. But it's not still popular for our generation. We are not educated to learn the organic one is with value, not the price. But people still concerned about the price, especially for the consumer. How to educate the consumer is a big challenge, I think, for the government. In New Taipei City, could I encourage all the farmers to have the organic vegetable? It's still quite impossible because New Taipei City is a metropolitan. But I think we can still do something for the agriculture. We are the biggest, just like Singapore, we are the biggest consuming market. If we do something, we can change the agricultural society. We can change the concept of agriculture. We can encourage those farmers to do some change. That's my beginning thinking. So I think we can do something from the school. In Taiwan, you know, for the elementary school, for the high school, especially the junior high school, every student can have lunch at the school, not free. The student have to pay. Monthly is about 800 NT dollars per month. It's equivalent to 40 Sing dollars. You know, this $800 we call the lunch fee at the school. Of course, the school will cook for the students, or the school will buy the lunch for the students, lunchbox for the students. I think if our government can do something, maybe we can change the agriculture or the food society in Taiwan. What I can do, I said, if the student, every student can eat organic vegetable, then the student would know what's the difference between the organic and the traditional one. What's the value of the organic vegetable to the student? And what I can do? I say I pay the difference. If I pay the difference, the government pay the difference, then we can make all students in Taiwan, in New Taipei City, to eat organic vegetables. So I try from the beginning, 3 schools first, then 15. Until last September, last month, the beginning of this semester, every student, which means 350,000 students in New Taipei can have organic vegetable for their lunch weekly. You know, after this policy, what's the biggest challenge for me is we cover about 60% of all the supply of Taiwan's organic vegetable. All the farmers come to us, says we want to sign the contract with you, which means we cover 60% of the market. It's short of the supply. We have to go to also the farm to sign the contract with all the farmers. Those farmers will be very happy because they are certain kind of guarantee for them. They can supply to New Taipei City schools, and they can have a winter and summer vacation as well. So a lot of new and young generation want to join the business. They said, before they join the agricultural business, they know it should be 12 months per year, and every day to do the job, to be the farmer. But finally, they can do the same thing as a teacher, to have a summer vacation and winter vacation. Because during the time, the break, no vegetable lunch will be provided to those students. And besides, I also try to educate our students to go organic at the school, at the campus. This, you see, these students, they have the organic vegetable crops themselves only for one semester, one time, one semester. They are not professional as the farmer, but they can do it. So they can eat the organic vegetable they have at least once per semester. So those students will be very happy and very well known about what's the meaning of organic. And the student will go home to tell the parents. Tell the parents means educate the parents. What's the difference between the organic and those traditional one with pesticide residue or with some problem inside, and why we should eat those organic vegetable. And school and the government, we have the other system. It means organic online. What means organic online? The parent can sign a form that we want to book some organic vegetable at home, which means not only for my children can eat organic vegetable at the school, they can go home for the dinner, also eat some organic. If they can eat some organic, of course, they can get the same quality, same price of organic from the school's system. We call it organic online. They can book the organic online, of course, get a cheaper price. And of course, in New Taipei, we have a corporation to supply all this organic vegetable. We get the supply from the farmer to the corporation, stay on the corporation, to all the school and all the family. The price, of course, went down. The quality went up, and the supply and the farmers, a lot of new farmers joined the market. That's, I said, go healthy, eat smart, eat smart. So the government should care the people not only eat together, but also eat smart. The third one I want to share with you is a policy, I say, eat with love. Let me give you a story. Maybe you sometimes, in the newspaper, you also can read about the shoplifting. The shoplifters, you can see some students, some kids, maybe they need some lunch or some bread, some cookie. They became the shoplifter in the market. I know it's very, very difficult for us that in the 21st century, even a kid, a child, cannot have lunch, have a dinner, and because of hunger. The hunger should not be a problem for Singapore, should not be a problem for Taiwan as well. But if some family gets some trouble, or some irresponsible parents, or even some ill, sick parents, then the child cannot get the dinner or lunch by their will. What can they do? They have no money. What can they do? You said you should have a social security or social welfare system. Yes, of course we have. We provide the free breakfast, free lunch, even free dinner for all those children. All those children under the list, you have to sign to the social welfare system, get approval. But in case some accident happen, it's not on the list. Not on the list. What happened to the kid? By the way, this picture, you can see it's a family. It's 7-Eleven. It means convenience store. In Taiwan, there are about near to 10,000 convenience stores in Taiwan. In New Taipei, about 2,000 convenience stores in New Taipei, which means almost everywhere, every block, you can see some convenience store, 7-Eleven, family, or you can see OK or Life, mainly for system, for brands of the convenience store in New Taipei, almost everywhere. The convenience store is a little bit different from the convenience store in the rest of the world. The convenience store in Taiwan is very convenient. You can have everything in convenience store. You can buy your ticket, you can pay your bill, you can even pay your parking ticket. You can pay the government bill, you can pay any electricity, your utility bills at the convenience store. You can do everything, even tuition fee. You can pay at the convenience store. The convenience store like a mini market in Taiwan. You can have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, everything. You can buy everything in the convenience store. Before this policy, we have a system already. For those poor students, they have a coupon. they have a coupon for their free lunch, free breakfast, or free dinner at the convenience store. So you can show your coupon to get your free breakfast. But how about for those students, they have no coupon? So we create a system called Eat with Love. Eat with Love, it means in New Taipei City, every convenience store is convenient for every student. I make an announcement to public, and every school tell every student, if you have any problem, don't try to steal. Just go to the convenience store to eat your dinner, your lunch, your meal. The only thing you should do is make this one is a case. You just a form to sign your name, give us your name, and the contact phone number. Why we need this one? Because after then, the teacher or the social worker can try to know what's the truth behind. If you do need some help in the future, you will be under the list for the social welfare system. So this system, when I announced this system, this new policy publicly, I got a lot of criticized from the media, of course, from the opposition party. But I don't want to mention about the opposition party. To oppose or to criticize you is their obligation, right? But the media, a lot of media said Eric Chu is crazy, because every student can go to the convenience store free to eat a dinner or lunch free. So everybody will go. I said it won't, because I know we are a mature society. We are a well-educated society. Our students will know it's only for the student they do need. I can tell you the number. Since January 1st up to today, we only provide still less, it's more than 9,000, it's still less than 10,000 free meals to those students. But, at the meantime, we find about 4,000, more than 4,000 cases of those students. They are not in the list. They are not the list, we mean the listed students who need the help, but they do need the help. We call high-risk family. Either because of their parents got some problem, or their family, broken family, or even suddenly their mom sick, or any kind of problem. We found this kind of children. And of course, our social workers and the teachers immediately after then to visit this family and to solve the problem. The media said every student will go to the convenience store. No. We found a lot of people, a lot of students will come to the government, approach the government, said they want to donate money to us to help those poor students to get the meal freely. So it's eat with love. We are a society, mature society. We know no student should have any problem of hunger. We should use our convenience store as the best place. It's very convenient because it's just nearby. It's just a block away for every student in Taiwan or in New Taipei to have their lunch or have their dinner. Even during the weekend, during the eve of New Year, you can get the help. So today, I mainly focused on the policy I have regarding to eat. You said it's a simple, very simple topic, eat. I said eat together for elders. Eat smart for all the people, especially from the students. Eat with love for the children they can solve the problem immediately. We can find them immediately. I said, that's what we can do. So sometimes we are debating, are we a big government or small government? The big government means government should do everything. The budget should be high. Of course, the tax probably should be high. The small government means we mainly depend upon not the government, maybe from any civil society, everything. I said the debate is okay, but my theme is no matter big government or small government, we should have the center is the people. It's the people, which means you can use, of course, your governmental budget to help the people. You can also use outsourcing, including convenience store, including all the love donation, or even any kind of creation you can have. You can have any new idea, maybe spend very little money to solve the problem, as we have. Because eat together, we don't have to provide any budget to any community center. They will eat together is a certain kind of event or activity. They can eat together. And of course, you can find the problem for elders. Eat smart. We only pay a little bit margin, differences between the organic and the traditional one. I think finally the gap will be smaller and smaller because we are the largest market in Taiwan. We also attract a lot of younger generation to join the organic agriculture. They change the food society, they change our health, and of course in the future they will change the concept of eating. We will eat smart. Finally, if we can use the current convenience store everywhere, it will be everywhere they can help the children, help our students. With our love, no matter where, no any hunger. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Chu. I would now like to invite Mayor Chu and our moderator for today, Professor Huang on stage for the Q&A session. Professor Huang is the Professor and Director of Center on Asia and Globalisation at the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy. Professor Huang is an internationally recognized expert on Chinese politics, China's foreign relations and security issues in Asia Pacific. He also serves as a senior overseas economic analyst for China's Xinhua News Agency and is also a board of director at the Fujitsu JAIMS Foundation in Japan. I will now hand over the time over to Mayor Chu and Prof. Huang.
A great honor and privilege to moderate Mayor Chu's questions and answers. Only one principle, please identify yourself and please be brave. And who is going to be the first one to raise some questions? Yeah, can you raise your hand and then we'll have a microphone over there. Yes, please. Yeah, please.
Ian Chong.
One behind you, sir.
Oh, sorry, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't be too gentle to each other. Okay, you go ahead. You go ahead, please. Yeah. And then this gentleman.
Okay, Ian Chong. So, thank you for your talk, Mayor Chu. I like to eat a lot, so I'm very appreciative of the topic. However, I'd like to ask you a few other things that actually Moss Desmond Lee brought up earlier about heritage and development that I guess are a little bit less digestible, but I think are relevant to New Taipei City and also to Singapore. So when we think about New Taipei City, I think I'd like to understand how you sort of look at how you work heritage protection and development together. I ask because the Danshui Bridge in New Taipei City is, it's hotly debated. It's been criticized for being a sort of a political football. It's been criticized for saying that it does not give adequate protection to the heritage around and culture around the Danshui area. So how do you balance and how do you put, actually not so much balance, but put those things together? I'd be curious to know. Thank you.
You know, it's always a dilemma, certain kind of dilemma. Please visit it. It's a certain kind of dilemma always for all the government. It's regarding to environmental protection issue and the infrastructure, heritage, and we saw cultural, everything. So it's try to, first of all, you should have very, very important themes. Is first one, you have to protect the heritage that cannot be damaged, be hurt first. That's very important. So you're talking about the Danshui Bridge, for example. Danshui Bridge, of course, we cannot impact or hurt anything regarding to the Danshui's heritage. But some people today says the view of the sunset is a heritage. It's still debating. You understand what I mean? The view of the sunset is a debate. Is a heritage, and a lot of times people say we can see the sunset everywhere. You understand what I mean? So it's not the heritage still the focus for the Danshui's sunset, but we won't touch any heritage we have, especially the Danshui is a very important ancient historical site for us. Regarding to environmental protection, for example, for Danshui, also as well, there is also a debate between the environmental protectors, the Green Party and us about the new road from Taipei to Danshui. They said it may impact about for the environment. We try to increase any kind of the cost, including change of the design, change of the old road to avoid anything to hurt the environment. But the only thing we have to do is we need the road for the people, because there are about 150,000 people live in Danshui, but only one road to Taipei. We still need the road. So it's a balance. It's a balance. So as a government, you have to pay. You have to be patient. You need time. For example, the Danshui Bridge, it took about more than a decade already in debating. The same thing for the road, more than a decade. But if we always debate, then it's no time to construct the infrastructure. So it's a certain kind of balance. Thank you.
Mayor Chu, my name is Him Chen. I migrated from Taiwan to Singapore for 40 years. I think all of us were very impressed by interesting speech today, especially the golden shovel story. I won't be surprised from tomorrow on it will become very popular in Singapore too. I've been living here for so long, I find there's a common problems between Singapore and Taiwan. Not only just the low birth rate, we have a lot of highly educated, white-collar career women still stay single. And it's the same problem in Taiwan also. I don't know, Mayor Chu, have any innovative solution or to tackle such a problem, which is getting very popular in all modern city in the world. Thank you.
I'm going back to Taiwan on Saturday, tomorrow. You know, the coming Sunday, we will have a group wedding group wedding for all the younger generation. It's certain kind of encouragement as well. You can give them a lot of free gift and some incentive. It's a lot of it's a lot of things I think we have to do for the young generation to have the will to get married. I think first one I said try to reduce their burden. The burden is including the financial burden and of course some psychological, mentally burden. This century, this society, that we give them too much pressure. So that's the reason why I said why the infant daycare center is very important. It gives those young women more faith, more confidence to have a new baby. Regarding to the how to make matching, we are doing something. For example, we found our police department. In New Taipei City, there are about 10,000 policemen and 3,000 firefighters. These two are mainly men, okay? A lot of single. And we have the other department is called for social workers, for example, educational department, a lot of young teachers, and the civil servants departments. A lot of young unmarried women. We try to make some event or activities together. It's also a job for the mayor. And what's the next? Maybe I have to ask Minister Lee. You maybe in Singapore you have a lot of new ways new methods to solve the problem. Thank you.
My name is Ma Bao Tan. I'm a member of parliament, a former minister in the government. First of all, thank you very much, Mayor Chu, for a very, very enlightening and very inspiring talk. I was particularly interested in your golden shovel story again, because I think if that works, I think we should all start making golden shovels. And every member of parliament, every function that I go to, I will make sure that I bring a golden shovel. In fact, we'll give every household a golden shovel if it works. But a serious question I have for you is, at the birth rate, at the replacement rate of 1 or 1.1, 1.2, I think we all know that this is not going to be very easily reversed. No matter how hard we try, I think we can probably bring it up a little bit, but very, very difficult to bring it up to the replacement rate. And the result of that is that our population will start to slow down. And this is the problem we face in Singapore as well. And one of the ways that Singapore is trying to tackle this issue is selective in-migration, migration of people to Singapore to try to increase our population, but also to help us in our economic development. My question to you is, what is your view, what is your government's view about the issue of immigration? Because it is a very sensitive issue. It is a hot debate in Singapore and in many other societies as well. And we know that in Japan, they are very reluctant to bring in new migrants because of the need to keep the society homogeneous. So my question is, what is your view personally, or the view of your government about the issue of migration as a means of resolving the population issue? Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. The migration problem is the common challenge for us. We all face the same problem in Taiwan and in Singapore. In Taiwan, the total population now is 23 million, and we guarantee it won't be increased to 24 million forever. It will be keep the same number, almost. The only problem is the aging. So how to face the challenge? I think migration is possible, but I won't think it's so acceptable in Taiwanese society, because you can see for the past decades, the 2 decades, we have a lot of we call the bride or groom of foreign, we call foreign bride or groom, mainly from Southeastern Asian countries. They are not Chinese, and they come to Taiwan, and of course, as a government, we welcome them, but it's still quite difficult for Taiwanese people, because Taiwanese people, Taiwan is quite, we call the pure, quite 100%, almost 100% Chinese society. Use the same language. Not like Singapore, you can speak English, you can speak Malay, you can speak Hokkien or any kind. So it's still quite a big challenge for us. But as a mayor of city, it's easy, because my problem is always increase population. Everybody come from southern Taiwan to New Taipei for jobs mainly. So you can see when I was a magistrate or mayor of New Taoyuan at the beginning of the end of year 2001, the population in Taoyuan is 1.6 to 1.7 million. When I finished my term 8 years after, it's 2 million. In Taipei, when I get my position, is 3.8 something million. Now it's near to 4 million for citizens. But the population we know is about 5 million. So which means always a lot of people will try to get job at the city, at the metropolitan. So it's a no immigration problem for the metro, but it's a problem for Taiwan. Thank you. I have no solution yet.
Hello, Mayor Chu. Thank you for your interesting speech. I would like to understand more about the policy implementation process in Taiwan. For example, I see many of your policies are very visionary. For example, eat smart or eat with love. So before you use the taxpayers' money to implement any policies, do you need to go through, for example, public consultations with your citizens or debate with your opposition parties? Because we know that Taiwan is a highly democratic society. For example, just now you gave an example, which is the new road from Taipei to Danshui. So the debate has been going on for 10 years. So at which stage of your policy do you consult the public or undergoing debate with your opposition parties? So if the debate is very hot, how do you decide who make the decision? Thank you.
Thank you. Your question is mainly regarding to the decision-making process, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Of course. First one, you have to please be seated. First of all, you have to think and consult with, of course, your staff, your advisors regarding to whether this this policy is achievable, is accomplishable. Second one is regarding to how much you have to spend. I know it's quite difficult in Taiwan if you want to spend the public money, it means the budget. But if you can raise your fund, for example, the Eat with Love, the only thing, the key one, is if you can get all this convenience store in New Taipei say, okay, I will do this one free to help your child, your children. It's very, very complicated. You know, 2,000 convenience stores in New Taipei. Everyone will be just like a station, like a police station or like a social worker place, station. Everyone should be well known how to fill the form and the kids free meal. It's not so easy. The first thing we have done, we did, is try to convince the private sector, the convenience store. You got all the support. The second one, we try to expect what's the maximum money we will spend, whether it could be covered by those people with love. They can donate some money, or you have to spend the public budget. I would say don't spend public budget if you can get any support, any help from the private sector. That's my philosophy. So you can see the first policy, eat together. We spend nothing, but only thing is you try to promote the event in any community. The third one, eat with love. We get some donation. I said at the beginning. After then, because it's a good policy, we got all the support from the society. I said even the student will go home to tell their mom, say, I'm poor. I need to donate some money for the hunger student if they need some help at the convenience store. The second one, we pay the margin. The margin is not too many. The number is not too big, and that one won't be opposed by the assembly, by the Congress, or by the council, because it's regarding to every parent's child, which means every family, every student. So no assembly or no councilor will oppose the policy regarding to every family, and that's a thing. But regarding to a new road, a new bridge, maybe those people in that area will say yes, but the other people maybe say no. So it's different. We should consider what's the balance. Thank you.
Afternoon, Dr. Eric, Prof. Huang. Dr. Eric, my name is Adam Latif. I'm an ex-policeman and an ex-banker, and I've lived here for 30 years, all my life. However, I've gone to Kuan, to Taipei, and to Taichung. We are building technology, hardware. So I realized that I had to go to your country in order to build some part of my product, because we do not have enough industrialists in my country. That we have capital. I know that we are the most, technically we are more competitive than you, and we are known for capital investment. But I realize that it's not just money that we need. Sometimes we need that skill. Your population is only 23 million, as opposed to America, which is 300 million, and opposed to Japan, 123 million. But yet, your country is also the one that's creating all the chips, all the hardware, all the glass. Most of the key components, Asus, Acer, comes from your country. So we are wondering, at one point, my mother was a factory worker in GE. I think that was the 70s and 80s. So I think at some point, we were on the same technological level, but then we chose that capitalistic path. How did your country maintain, even for your population size, how were you able to reach that technological advancement that puts you in that level, puts you there? So I'm just wondering about your industrial sector.
Thank you. It's still certain kind of achievement we have, but it's also certain concern for our country for the future as well. For the people in Taiwan, we envy Singaporean very much. But you said in Taiwan, because we have those industry, you said it's wonderful. So it's also certain kind of debate inside Taiwan, whether we should keep what the percentage is right for us for service sector, and the other one is manufacturing factor. We have still about 30% to 70%. 30% still the manufacturing, 70% still the service sectors. But a lot of ones said we should push to about 80 to 20. But from my point of view, Taiwan should still keep maybe 25 to 75. So it's a 1/4 manufacturing, 3/4 of service. To keep the 1/4 of manufacturing, we need the base of we call the skill training system very well. But today we found a problem of the gap between the training system, especially the school training system, to the professional factory. We are trying to we try to create a bridge between school and factory. So we also have our problem. It's not so easy as you said. Taiwan is still such good leader in chips, in computer, in cellular phone. So I said both society face the same problem, and both society with different problem. Just share with you my view. Thank you.
Yes, hello, my name is Dennis Linders. I was very interested in your presentation, especially because governments kind of all over the world are trying to do more with less. I'm actually from Washington, D.C., and there we sort of had to function without the government for 2 weeks. But it's very interesting to see how you're kind of partnering with volunteers to kind of solve some of these public problems. So the question I had is, how do you motivate volunteers? How do you motivate the private sector to kind of really tackle some of these challenges that the government alone might not be able to solve?
I think if you have any chance to visit Taiwan, you can find Taiwan is a society with love, volunteer society. Almost everybody like to be a volunteer. If you are not a volunteer, the people will think you are a sham to the society. But the only thing is, for the government is you have the challenge to lead or to motivate the people to be the volunteer of what you want. Okay? So I said, everybody want to be the volunteer for a baby or for children. They don't want to be the volunteer for poor, or maybe not poor is okay, for elder. Because to companion with the elders is a tough job and a tough challenge. That's the reason why you need some certain kind of motivation. You should tell people you will be elder someday. So you need the help, so you do something today. That's what we are doing. The convenience store it's just as a government, you are the best bridge. You can link the convenience store to the people. They are not only a business, they can be a service. So after this policy announced and after this policy accomplished, the convenience store, the leader of convenience store come to my office, I give them a prize and say thank you to them. Everybody, was very happy because it's a certain kind of social service. So you should pay back to them, but not money, but some respect. Thank you.
Hello, I'm John. Organic food, how do you assure quality control? Second point is, why do you choose to encourage young volunteers and retired volunteers. What about the in-between? Right? Third one is more, now that you told your wonderful story about caring for the kids from the cradle to elementary level, share a bit about your care for the senior citizen in terms of ambulant, semi-ambulant, and non-ambulant. Thank you.
What's the difference between the senior and you say the young volunteer? The gap, the difference is very easy. Above 65 called senior, below 65 still young. Why I choose the organic one? Because the organic one is very important. You know, the new stream for the future. How could we guarantee the quality? It's very important. We double check and triple check every week for all the supply, and even we have our own, the government, to outsourcing some private sector to have we call the cutting factory for all those organic vegetable supply from south of those farms. Those farms come to New Taipei. Those vegetables will be checked first, then go to the we call the cutting system factory. The factory cutting system wash all the vegetable and cut to pieces, then to every school. So it will be guaranteed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Jessica. I'm from Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy. And I studied in National Taiwan University for 2 years and get my master's degree. And now I'm here. And I have a question about when you open the map of New Taipei City, you can find that Taipei City is in the central of the map of New Taipei City. And we can also say that New Taipei City is annulus, if in mathematics, or a ring. You know that. My question is, does it bring any disadvantages or advantages for this, particular character in the geographic characters? That's my question. Yeah.
I think your question maybe I should answer the following way. It's the same metropolitan. It's the same metropolitan. But the political reason or any historical reason made the CBD or the downtown to be a separated city to all the Taipei area. So as the mayor of New Taipei, first one, you have to make the people, those people, especially most of the people in Taipei area, in New Taipei, should have the same quality, living quality as the people as in downtown. They should have the similar transportation system, similar metro system, similar highway system. They have the same bus system, even more convenient to them to go to downtown or anywhere. The second one, I'm trying to create the educational system, the same quality, or even better quality of the educational system. I have the 12 years from the newborn to 6th grade. Yeah, okay, and jobs is very important for the past few years and the coming few years. If there are a lot of factory, a lot of business now in New Taipei, not only in Central Taipei. I can give you the number, and now in New Taipei, there are 250,000 business or enterprise or companies in New Taipei already. And 25,000 factories, industrial factories in New Taipei. But in downtown Taipei, only very few factories and a lot of business there. Which means the business means jobs. So there are so many jobs opportunity in New Taipei. They can work nearby, They can educate nearby. They can live nearby. They don't have to go to CBD. But someday, I think in the future, in the long run, we should be remerged again together to be a same metropolitan, same city. That one will be a super city, near to 7 million people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Huang, and thank you, Dr. Zhu. Actually, yeah, my name is Wang Tong. I graduated here in National University of Singapore. As a graduate from political science, I'm more interested in Taiwan politics. So I know you have another role other than mayor of Taipei City. You're also the vice chairman of Kuomintang. And I know what happened between Mr. Ma Ying-jeou and Wang Jinping. I'd like to know your comments about the development of Kuomintang. And another question, would you mind sharing with us about your plan in the coming 2016? Thank you.
Thank you. Kuomintang is a democratic party, so everything will under the system is with some primary. Nobody can say who will be the candidate. It depends upon your will, and of course it depends upon the primary, the result. Regarding to our chairman, President Ma and Speaker Wang, as you said, it's unfortunate happened last month. But now it's October, everything down, finished. It's okay. Our premier reports to the legislative yuan, we call 立法院, okay, this morning. He's my classmate. He was my classmate, so I say good for him. So no problem at all. Thank you.
At least that. Sounds like in Taiwan, got to get to the public. It's a transparent system. So yes. That is much better than behind the closed doors, right? in the long term. Okay, we have one final question because the time is up. Okay, that goes to another student from Lee Kuan Yew School.
Thank you, Mayor. I also have exchange program in Taiwan, National Taiwan University for 1 semester, and I'm still wondering about the competitiveness and the openness of Taiwan. Do you have some plan or policies to promote the Taiwan competitiveness? For example, about the 三线六部 policy, it's restricted the mainland China students to in many areas and fields in the society and about their civil rights. And is there any possible in the near future to make some breakthroughs? I know there is some progress in these years, and except this dimension, is there any other policies to promote the competitiveness of Taipei and Taiwan? Thank you.
The competitiveness of Taiwan is, of course, is a key concern for any policymaker in Taiwan. I think the competitiveness of the country should come from the competitiveness of the people. People, and mainly from young people. So if we can improve our educational system, we can give our younger generation more confidence, more global view, and more skill. That's no such a big gap before from school to the industry. Then we could shorten the time, the learning time for them. And of course, today's Taiwan's company is no more in the island. They have the branch around the world. I always encourage our younger generation not only go to China, they should go to India, they could go to Indonesia, even Africa, everywhere. We should have a global view. The global is not mean only Taiwan or mainland or Singapore. The global means everywhere in the world. Then we should, if the quality of the people, the quality of the younger generation, the global view of younger generation, the skillness of the younger generation, and the confidence of the younger generation improve, our competitiveness will be increased. Thank you.
I know that there's still a lot of questions, but you know, Mayor Chu have a lot of other commitment that we have to bring this forum to the end. Please, please join me to thank Mayor Chu for this excellent but also very candid presentation.
Thank you, Mayor Chu and Prof. Huang, for sharing your insights and experiences with us. We'd now like to invite Mr. Ku, Executive Director of Center for Liveable Cities, to present our speaker and moderator with a token of appreciation. Mr. Ku, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our lecture. We thank you for your participation today, and we look forward to see you at the next CLC lecture, which is happening next Friday on innovation and the city. We will also be seeking your feedback via email and would greatly appreciate if you could help us improve the CLC lecture series. Have a good evening.